guys, welcome back. I am going to do a blob painting for you today, but I'm going to just show you the consistency of my paints first. Now I've made up a whole heap, so I'm just going to do a close-up here, and I'm going to put little blobs on this tile to show you, because the last one I did you guys see that one where the girl was blowing the daffodil? Not the daffodil, what are those little things called? Anyway, she's blowing a little flower, a dandelion. I knew it started with a D. She was blowing a dandelion. My paints were too thin in that one. That was my first ever blob, and it was just a little bit too thin. So I am going to go again. I've changed up my pouring medium. I'm just showing you the colours here while I'm talking. These are all pastels. Changed up my pouring medium, and I'm going to just show you what I have learnt in this process of making up or mixing up the paint, because I don't have a recipe. I don't know if anyone has a good recipe. I've seen a few little recipes from people I'm not that keen on, but you know, you've seen them on Facebook. I'm not that keen on them, so I'm just practicing, trying to get my own. Now what I have found is, when you make your blob, see that tiny little nipple? Excuse me, people that don't like the word nipple, but I'm working in midwifery and maternity for years and years, so nipples are all we talk about. But anyway, now see how it's pretty much gone. If it stays there, it's too thick. If you don't get that nipple, it's too thin. So let's just check all of these paints. There's the little nipple. Hope you guys can see it. I'm just going to do all the colours, and then hopefully the little point will go. Well, that's a little bigger one, isn't it? It's really hard getting the consistencies all exactly the same, because each colour I found was a little bit different in the consistencies. The white was much thicker. Oops, got a bubble on that one. Pop. It'll smooth over. Yeah, so each consistency was a little bit different, so I had to change them a little bit. I should make sure I get the paint into that nozzle before I start pouring, actually. Otherwise I get a blob that goes blub blub and you get bubbles. Oh no, I spilled. This one's really full. Yes, the little nipple. Now, the nipples on this first row have gone, haven't they? Let me clean up my mess. So you can see what I mean. So if, like, it doesn't matter, I don't think it matters what paint you're using, what pouring medium you're using, as long as you've got that same consistency. Oops, excuse my dirty fingers, I've been painting all day. What do we got next? Oh, and yellow. So this one's going to be all pastels, and then I'm going to work on one that's going to be all brights. Red and blue and orange and all the bright colors, and then of course we've got black. So the black was quite tricky. It was quite thick. I had to add more of my diluting mixture. I was going to add a little bit of that white to that one, so they're all the same size, dots, blobs, whatever you want to call them. So what do you think? So that's them there. None of them have got the little nipple. They've all gone. Even the black, you know, it was only the last one I just poured, so it might not be gone just yet. I'll give them all a bit of a torch if they've got a bubble. If you've got a bubble and you can't get rid of it, don't worry too much, because the next layer is going to cover them anyway. So that's the consistency I think it should be. So I'm going to move this, level up everything, and we'll get started. How's that? That looks pretty good. Zoomed in. I'm not going to use my big ring light today. which is over there, because being black canvas, it might show up and I'll have a big black ring there. So use one of these little levelers. Try and get your canvas as level as possible. These are only a few dollars from eBay, great little things. I had to chalk up under here. These came with the canvas, you know, the things that you hammer into the corner, and I've just put it underneath the big push pin there to get it level. So because we're doing blobs, make sure that your canvas is level, otherwise they're going to slide off. So there was my little colours. Everybody stayed where everybody was put. Nice thicknesses. So as I said earlier, this is going to be pastels. I'm going to start with white everywhere, and then I'm going to alternate my pastel colours, and I'm going to finish with a dot of black. I just think that will make the black background pop against the little top black little tip. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. This is a 40 centimetre by 80 centimetre canvas, or 16 by 32 inches. It's only a narrow one. It's not a thick-sided one. I do have a thick-sided one that I'm just trying to clean at the moment, in the process of cleaning it. So let me move my paints, because I don't need those just yet. I will in a couple of days. I'm just going to go with the white today. And I'm going to go over the edges. Make sure that the paint's in the nozzle before you start. Now, you need a decent size first blob. Otherwise, by the time you've got to the top, your little top blob is tiny. So you need a relatively big base to be able to go smaller, 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 smaller. Okay? And some of them I'm going to run off the edge just because it looks pretty. So let's start. Keep your nozzle in the paint. Lift up, and you should just see that little nipple, and it will go. If your consistency is right, it should go. If you're not getting that little nipple staying there, I think your mix is too thin. Now, it's just a guesstimate. I'm no expert at this. I'm still learning. I'm going to let that just run off over the edge there. Just help it a bit. So it should level off. And you know, get nice and smooth. Oh, look, it's run down. It's only a very narrow little edge. It's only like this, so I haven't got much of a run off, but my next one's bigger. All right, so let's keep going. I don't know if I've got enough white paint actually, because I've only made up the one tube. Well, okay, you're going there since I dribbled. Don't put them too close together. Allow them to spread a little bit. It's very thick, so it's not going to spread a lot. But I'll do some bigger ones and some smaller ones in the white. Some may have more layers than others. You can go over. I'm not going to talk about the recipe today. I want to see if this works first. I haven't done a painting before. I've only done those little blobs on my tile, so that's all I've done. So I'm not sure if it's going to work yet. So if it works, yay. I'll tell you all, you know, what I did. We can always later on, if we want to, add little ones in between, but for the moment I'm going to space them out because I'm not sure how much this is going to spread. I don't think it'll spread very much at all. I'm running out of white paint already. So the bottom layer, your bottom colour, whoops, we're running out. Yeah, excuse the noises, excuse you. Give that a shake. The bottom layer is the biggest, so you need the most paint. So I'm going to need like 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to need 3 just to do the base. So I'm going to have to stop, make up some more white. All right, that's all my white gone. So I'll just give those a torch. I'll make up some more white, and I'll do a few more. The rest of the white, me putting down white, I'll just I'll fast forward the video. You don't need to watch me put down white blobs, do you? Now, this one's quite bubbly because it's at the end of its little tube. Now the little dots that I've made from the balloons, the bubbles popping, they should cover over. But see, I only made this paint up now, so really I should have made the paint and then waited till the next day, you know, before I used it, so that it wasn't too bubbly. All right, I'm going to make up some more paint, and I'll be back. As they say, I'll be back. It has been 5 days now since I put these blobs down, and I just stuck my finger into this one, and as you can see, it's still wet. So that's 5 days. Let me just stick them back down. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm just going to go for it. These ones on the, oops, you're wet too. All right. This was I've actually changed my pouring medium now. I've got another one started, so we'll see how that one goes. Now this one was sitting here on the table for the first couple of days with a net over it, and it gets the morning sun. So we've got all these little cracks, little crow's feet. We did have some around the edges as well there. I've just covered them in some white paint, just some thinner white paint, just to fill them in. So this, I mean, this painting's not exactly going to be a keeper because of all the issues. So I'm not sure whether I got those cracks because it was sitting here in front of the window. These ones up here don't have any. That one hasn't got any. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're just going to go for it and put some more blobs on. I've got my paint all here upside down in a container, just so that all the paint runs down to the nozzle. And I'm just going to go for it and start layering. I'll do some blobs sort of straight down like this, and then I might take the camera and put it on the side so that you can see the height. So for this formula, I don't know whether I've shown you or not, because this, as I said, this was done 5 days ago. I did 1,000 grams of Floetrol, 500 grams of Liquitex pouring medium, and 250 grams of GAC800, which is supposed to stop cracking, but it didn't in this case. And then I've mixed it 80 grams of pouring medium to 120 grams of paint. And I used the Montmartre, so that's 1.5 paint to 1 pouring medium to make it nice and thick. So whether or not the pouring medium is fine, and it was just the heat of the sun coming in that's destroyed my painting, I don't know. But I've got another one that's sitting under on the floor, away from the window, under a net with a blanket over it. So we'll see if that one is any better, because that's the same pouring medium. So these two are in that pouring medium, and then I have changed my pouring medium. See, it leaves a little tip there, which is good, which is what we want. And I find that if anything's going to crack, it's the first layer, the bottom layer. My subsequent layers haven't cracked when I've done, oh, this is just a little sample here of, you know, checking consistencies and things. These haven't cracked. They haven't been in front of the window either. Now, if you get some bubbles, I find the easiest thing to do is just to pop them. Don't worry too much about the ones on the top, because they're going to get covered anyway. And if you make a little dot like that, just use your stick to cover it over. I just find it better than actually hitting it with the blowtorch. And then just cover those little holes over with your stick. Alright, do a few yellow since I've got it out, and then I'll swap over and use a different colour, hey? Try and get it in the middle. I'm not quite sure how much to use. I don't know how it's going to spread. Now, this is probably going to have to take a week to dry, because the coat underneath it is still wet. But I'm impatient. I didn't want to wait any longer, especially because it's you know, it's a bit of a fail anyway. And I thought, oh, no point making it perfect. It's never going to be perfect, because you know, I've got the cracks already. All right, let's leave that. I'll put that on there. I'll put it back upside down in my little container here in case I want to use it again. And let's grab the pink. So this is all pastels. On this one, I've got one coming up, the one that's on the floor behind me. I don't know how much to put on. I don't know how it's going to spread. A little bit more. I want to see a little bit of white, but not too much. Yeah, so the one on the floor behind me, I'm going to do black and white monochrome. I think that would look quite nice. And again, just testing the pouring medium. And once I've got it right, then I can do a nice big painting for myself. I've got a canvas all ready to go. It's a canvas board, actually. Right, let's change over to blue. Dropped a little bit of blue in there. Yeah, it's a bit of a problematic painting. Now I've got a bit of blue stuck in my paint there. My wet paint, doesn't matter. It's just an experiment, this one. Trial and error. And of course I would have to go for a big one, wouldn't I, to start with? So I was thinking, yeah, you know, I can do this. This is easy. It's just blobs. It's just getting that consistency right. And yeah, don't put it in front of the window. And see, also it's hot here in Queensland, Australia. I've been having the air conditioner on as well while I've been pouring. So when I researched, you know, paint cracking, it said changes in temperature can cause it to crack, because a hot day and then all of a sudden it goes cold with the air conditioning, and I finish and then it goes hot again, and I guess the paint's contracting, and yeah, maybe that's something to do with it as well. So maybe a range of reasons. 1, it's in front of the window with the hot sun. 2, I've had the air conditioner on. And 3, the Floetrol. Floetrol has got water in it. Whether or not that's a problem, I don't know. My next mix hasn't got any water. Because again, when I researched, it said a reason for cracking is if you've got water in your mix. Because, you know, the water evaporates, I guess, and then leaves the rest of the paint just kind of sitting there to sort of shrivel up, because, you know, the water's all gone. So yeah, a few different reasons why it could have happened, and at the moment I'm not exactly sure on which is correct. But I'll keep going and experimenting. Now I was going to show you front side on, wasn't I? Let me just take the camera down so you can... Oh, sorry. I'll do that on the next layer, okay? Next layer I'll aim it this way so you can see. Oh no, you're running off. Don't run away. What have I got under here? Nothing much. All right. Bit of purple over here. See, the blue may well have been a little bit thinner than the others. Each colour seems to be a little bit different in its consistency. Just run that nozzle over towards the edge if you want it to go over. Hopefully I haven't made them too big. You're running over, almost running over as well. What else have I got? I've got a peach. I haven't used peach yet. Look at that. This was just pink and orange put together. Make this peach. I better not make them too big, had I? I'd rather them be a little bit smaller and be able to see the white than the white bit all covered up. If I haven't got much peach on this first layer, I'll put peach like on top of another colour for the next round. So it won't matter too much if I haven't got much in the way of peach going on. Because I've still got another colour to use. My turquoise. And then off camera I will just go and pop bubbles. I need a different one there and a different one there. I'll have a look and see what I still need, what I can put in the corners. I think that's a pretty good kind of sprinkle of colours, isn't it? A little bit upset that my blue may go over. Alright, what haven't I used very much of that I can put in this corner? Maybe some purple. Actually, I haven't got blue in that corner, have I? No, I've got purple. I've got blue running over here. Let's do purple. Just let it run over. Is that it? Am I done? Not quite. What am I missing? How about some more pink over there? I've got pink over there. And run it over. There we go. Oops, blob. Alrighty, so that is it for the second layer. And I'm just going to take my little bamboo skewer and I'm going to pop all the bubbles. And I'll probably see you in another 5 days, or maybe 7. I don't know. The white was, you know, it was bigger. The blobs are bigger. So They probably take a little bit longer maybe. As the blobs get smaller, it shouldn't be so long in between each layer because they're smaller, so they should dry faster in theory. All right, I will see you next week. I wanted to show you, just before I do anything else, what the consistency should be. Now these blobs I did 3 days ago, and as you can see, still wet. So I won't be doing anything on those today. Push it back down. This is still my old pouring medium. Where was it? I think I gave it to you, didn't I, already? I have changed up my pouring medium. So when I go to this one here, my black and white one, see that's dry already. So when I go to that one, I'll tell you all about that one. But I've still got all my paints mixed up with this old pouring medium, so I kind of have to keep going. Now, to check your consistency, if your bottle's been standing upside down like that, which it should have so that you can get paint in there, if you lift that and your paint just drips out on its own, I'm not squeezing it at all, it's too thin. Okay, so I'm actually going to pour all that back in, and I'm going to make it thicker. I'm going to add more paint, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the consistency. So I've popped it all back into this cup, and it's very bubbly at the moment because I had to squirt and squirt, and it made all those horrible noises we know when you're getting to the end of the bottle. But I'm not going to use this for a couple of days anyway, so I'm checking all my paints that are in my squeeze bottles. I'm making them all thicker. It really doesn't matter what brand of paint you use. This is global. I've got it left over, so I'm just going to actually pour. Give it a stir up. Pour it in there. Might not even be the same colour, but doesn't matter. So that was a lot of paint going in there, wasn't it? Move that out of the way. I'll give it a stir up, and I'll see what the consistency is going to be. Actually, I prefer it to be a little bit lighter anyway. This one here is my pastels. Oh, look at that, I've got paint on the side. Goodness, can't take me anywhere. Give that a stir. So any sort of soft-bodied paint, acrylic paint, will work with this. It's just all about your pouring medium. Now, I would probably even go thicker than that. Oh. Yeah, see how it sits on top? I would actually, when you do that, the little nozzle, the little end should like fall over, you know, when you're whipping egg whites. So it shouldn't be stiff peak, it shouldn't be soft peak, it needs to be somewhere in between. Let's put some more paint in. I'm running out of space. I'll fill the cup up. There we go. Hopefully the paint's going to thicken it. But, you know, like I said, I've got all these colours already made up with my old pouring medium, so I kind of have to use it. I don't want to waste it. But when I first started with this blobbing, I just thought, oh, yeah, that looks pretty thick. Make it double as thick as what you would think. All right, see how high those mounds are sitting? Hopefully you can see. So that's how I want it. I'm going to pop it back in here. So yeah, don't be scared to make it ultra thick. It should have a little tip on the end when you pour your or squirt your blob out. It should have a little tip on the end, like a little nipple. And then after a few minutes it should have been gone and just a nice smooth around on the top. Okay, docs. Oh, I'm spilling everywhere. It's probably going to be another long video, but I think it's important to see this. I don't think anyone else has actually shown, you know, how to do blobs and the recipes and the consistencies. So hopefully I'm helping you guys out. Now I'm just going to squirt a bit out because what's in the nozzle is still the old thinner paint. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit out. And then I'm going to bring over my little tile. This is my little test piece that I use. Alright, so let's hold it upside down now and see if anything comes out. Nope. So that's what we want, nice and thick. Let's do a blob. Give it a squeeze. Okay. See, it leaves a little tip there, a little nipple. I don't know if you can see it. Go in, little tiny little tip there. It is going, so after a few minutes, you know, it should be gone, and it should be a nice smooth round there. Okay, so that is what I'm going to go and do to my other colors that are in this tub here, and then I can come back in. It's probably going to be another 3 days before I can do more layers on this pastel one. So I will see you then. I think these blobs are pretty much dry now. There's a couple that feel like the yellow. It's a little bit shiny on top. It's a little bit tacky still. If I pushed on it, it'll probably make a dent. The rest of them seem okay. So yeah, a little bit tacky, but hey, I'm just going to go with it. So I've got my paints all here upside down, and I showed you how I made all these thicker in the last little video. So now we just have to decide what colour is going to go on what colour, hey? I know, so confusing. What are we going to go? All right, let's just start. Obviously I'm not going to put orange on orange or peach. And I think I'll try not to put it too close. Oh, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Don't overthink it, hey. Let's see how we go. Now, I don't want to make them too close to the edge because they will, you know, spread. Little point on top, yay, it should go. All right, I'm just going to put a few peaches on. Now, I do want to see the colour underneath each layer, so yeah, just be careful not to put too much paint on. Do a few peaches there. Run that one over the edge. All right, let's change colours. How's everyone doing? Not too bored in isolation? Let's go purple on the yellow. I haven't been working much, and I don't have any shifts on my next 2 weeks of roster because I'm in the private sector. So even though, yes, they need nurses, if you're in a private sector where you do elective surgeries, they've pretty much all been cancelled. So no work for me at the moment. So I'm staying home and painting. I go out just to, you know, grab some groceries. But apart from that, like everyone else, just staying home, doing our thing, doing the right thing, hopefully. But so yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoying my videos. And hopefully you're enjoying this blob video. I'll go through and pop all the little bubbles later. I can see, or you just popped on your own. Pop, cover him over. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'll just stop the video and then I will fast forward the rest. Otherwise it's going to be another very long video. Righto, that's the third layer on. Let's have a little close-up look, hey? So these blobs hopefully should stay a little bit higher because I've made my mix thicker. So cross fingers, they won't run too much. There's a bar across the center of this canvas underneath, but then there's nothing supporting it on either side of that bar, so I'm just hoping they don't sort of run to the middle. I've just added those extra little white blobs, as you can see. So I'll probably just have one colour on top of them, maybe two, depends on how much I can get on there. But the rest of them, they can all have another 2 or 3 layers. So that's it there. Now I have to wait another 3 days. Oh, it's a labour of love, this is. All right. I'll see you in a few days. I'm back, you guys. It's been a few days. We've had Easter. Everybody's dry. And I think I'm going to just do one more. Like, this is going to be the 5th layer. So I'm kind of over it for this one. And it takes a long time to finish your painting. So, and I just put like a little blue one there. What do you think? Does that, if I do different colours here and there without the white background? I don't know. Just chuck it in. All right, so I'm going to use up what I've got left. I've got all these colours. Hopefully I can use most of them up because I'm not really going to do anything else with them. Oh, these, I wanted to show you these. These are puppy piddle pads that I've folded up, and I just put them, because there's a timber bar across the centre, but there's nothing here. So I just put that under there like that, and it just helps lift that section up, and then this one under here. And you can see it's just sort of puffed up a little bit. Just level it. It just stops, you know, because the paint on the outside all kind of wants to run in. So just prop them up with something. I've got a new skewer, nice sharp pointy edge there. So let's get going. So basically what I'm going to look at and say, see, that one hasn't got yellow on it. You've got yellow, so obviously you're not going to have any more. So I'm just going to have, it might take me a little bit longer, but I'm just going to see which ones don't have certain colours, and my yellow is nearly out. So I might not get much. Oops, and there was a little dry cakey bit on the end of my nozzle. Oh, look at that, first one for the day, and I stuffed it up. Right, we'll just smooth that over. So these should dry beautifully. Okay, where else needs a bit of yellow? I'll use up the yellow first because it's almost gone. I think the yellow looks nice on the blue. Don't know that I'm going to get much more yellow out of this. Give it a shake. So I don't know if you guys want to watch all this or whether I should just fast forward you, but I fast forwarded the last one, so maybe you can just bear with me. I'll leave that turned upside down because it's making bubbles now. There's really not much left in that. Let's go with the pink and see which ones don't have pink. You don't have pink, so let's go there. Now this one hasn't got pink, but I don't want two pinks right next to each other. What if these need another one? Some of them are a little bit bigger. Actually, maybe I'll just put a little pink blob there. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this, but I think it looks okay, doesn't it? You can have some pink. Oh, actually, pink on purple, that probably wasn't a very good idea. Where else? They've all got purple on them. Yeah, here's one. I'm just trying to get them a little bit different. Actually, I might put a little tiny blob on some of these because they've only got 2, and the rest, see, the big ones have got 5 colours now. Turquoise. You don't have any turquoise. Now we'll put a couple of little turquoise blobs here and there as well. Oops, there's a hair. I'll have to go around and pop bubbles later on. Still got quite enough turquoise in here, so I might go with the bigger blobs because I've still got quite a bit of paint left in there. Pop. Okay, that's probably enough turquoise for now. We'll get another colour out. I should leave the ones that I've done out, then I know what I'm up to. I don't want to put any more white on. Let's go with the pale blue. Where can you go? You've already got blue. You've got blue. You've got blue. Oh, you don't. And where else? You don't have blue. Well, don't talk to me like that. Make those horrible noises. My gosh. Quite thick, this blue. Seems thicker than the others. Standing up nice and high, that's for sure. Where can I do a blue blob there? Okay, so that's the blue for now. What else? We've got some minty green. So you've got 3, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll leave you at 4. You can have another one. Just add a couple of little extra blobs of colour. Still got quite a lot of green in here, so I'll use it up. I thought if I've still got a lot of paint left, I can maybe thin it out with some water and use all the colours and do a flip cut pour or something like that. Just to use up the paint, because I don't want to waste it. I really don't know how I feel about these extra little blobs of colour. I don't know whether they're a good idea or not, but it's done now. Actually, you need something. What can you have? Maybe you can have some blue. Like so. Now, you need something, don't you? There's not enough yellow to do a big blob there. Oh, peach. Hang on, I've still got two colours. I've still got peach and purple that I haven't used. Well, you've already got purple in you, so you can have peach. How's that sound? You happy with peach? Oh, and you need something, don't you? I'm going to put on this one. I might put pink on that one actually. It's got enough pink left over. Hopefully it can go on there and run down. There we go. Who else needs pink? You've got pink, or you can have some. You're right, you can have some. You need something but not pink. You need something but not pink. No, you've got enough. You've got enough. Oh, you could have some. No, we don't want pink on purple, do we? Maybe you need some apricot over there. Let's go with some apricot over in this corner. I told you it would take me a little bit longer working out who needed what colours. Oops. And you could do with some green. It's hard to do little ones. They're a bit tricky. Actually, there's a bit of dry paint on the end of that. Alright, so you still need something. How about you have some green, hey? I think I'm nearly there, you guys. Who else needs green? Oh, you can. You don't have another one. How about you have some peach? Lighten you up a little bit. Who else needs peach? Put your hand up if you haven't got any colours. All right. Now I'm just going to work my way down like this and see if everyone's got what they need. You're okay. You're okay. I think I'll do another one over there. You're okay. Yeah, you've got 4, you'll be all right. The big ones have got 5. Yeah, yep, you're okay. You're only little, but then you've only got a little dot on you. That one's okay. Maybe just a touch of pink just there. You're okay. You're okay. You could do with something else. Bit of blue on the pink. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. Yep, you've been done. There's a big yellow one there. You could have a little bit more. Let's put a little bit of blue there. And I'm just going to do a few little dots, I think. here and there. See if I can get a little yellow one out. I'm going to be so careful not to touch anything that's wet. So careful. So you guys tell me, what do you think about these extra little blobs of colour? Are they okay, or have I kind of ruined it now? It's done now, so I can't take it back, but still be nice to know for future reference what you guys think of just those extra little blobs of colour here and there. I don't want to do too many. You know, I do want some negative space, but ta-da! Drum roll! I think it's done, you guys. Oh, look, I haven't put any purple on. I've left a whole colour out. Oh dear. Let's just pop a little bit of purple on. He was still upside down in the container. I don't know how I missed him. So we'll just add a little bit of purple. They remind me of Smarties. You can have a little bit of a bigger purple there, hey? Yeah, they remind me of Smarties. Okay, I'm calling that done. Yeah, I don't know that there's a lot of paint left. I've got some blue, got some purple, I've got some white. I guess I might mix them up and make them a little bit thinner and see if I can get a pastel flip cup pour out of them. Smoothing that little circle over a little bit. Always add a little bit more paint just to, you know, make your round a little bit more round, but you don't want to put too much on, then it flows off. All right, I'm done, you guys. Oh, hang on, no, I'm not. This one, he can have some purple. I just saw one that I haven't put an extra blob on. Here, he can have the purple because he hasn't actually got purple yet. There we go. Oh, I feel better about that now that I've actually put some purple on one of them. All right. Oops, and you've got a big bubble on top of you. Or are you just a peak? No, you're just a peak. Righto. Let's do this. Let's take you down for a close-up. Finally done. Woohoo! Thanks for staying by me, guys. Appreciate it. No, it's probably not the most exciting thing to watch. We've got some nice height on them. I'm going to hang this one up somewhere. Might varnish it too. I don't know that I'll resin it. I'll probably just use my my pouring medium that I usually use for varnishing, because it's big and it's going to take a lot of resin, and you know, it's on a canvas. And not that I've used resin very much, but what I've heard from others is that, you know, resin can crack and pull away from the sides if it's on a canvas. So I'll just pour some of my pouring medium over it, and that'll give it a beautiful gloss finish. But I won't do it for a while. I'll wait till these are all cured, and then I'll take a photo of it. I'll take it outside and show it to you in the sun, hey? So I'm really happy with this one. I've still got, you know, this was my original pouring medium recipe, so I have got a little bit of cracking. And this was the one that was sitting in front of the window. See, I've got a window just there, and the sun was coming in, shining on my table. And I did have a little bit of cracking on my first layer, and I didn't know why, but I have since worked out that it's because of that sun and the heat coming in the mornings. All right, thank you so much for watching. I know it's a long video, but hopefully you guys have learned something and have enjoyed it. So have a go at blobbing. It's fun. And put your photos up on my pouring page, Pouring Your Heart Out with Julie. And I'd love to see them. We can have a chat about recipes and things, and I'd love to see them all. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Love you all. I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.